Shalom to the Lord's elect, the elect of the nation of Israel. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Racha Kodash. Double honor to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and mercy to the hopeful elect, beginning with the 144,000. I'm the brother Yawanathan, back with another quick lesson. Lord willing, is edifying. And the topic of tonight's lesson is getting used to downsizing and sacrificing more for your walk in this faith, as a hopeful elect man of the Lord. Because we're getting ready to come into some times where, we're going to lose a lot. We've already lost a lot. We've already sacrificed, and we continuously sacrifice daily for this truth. And because we sincere about our salvation, about our faith and our conviction in Yahweh Shai, just as the Apostle Peter, he asked Yahweh Shai for basically sacrificing all these things. What are we going to receive? Well, we already have the answer now, because Yahweh Shai answered Peter. Matter of fact, let's start with that. 100-fold. Because that's what we got to look forward to. But guess what? We got to make it to that point. Yahweh Shai said what? He that endureth unto the end, the same shall be saved. So we got to make it all the way to the end. And just like any marathon race or any boxing or any type of sports or really anything you do in life, if you want to make it to the end and complete the project or finish the project, sacrifices are most definitely going to have to be made. And sometimes these sacrifices are going to come at an emotional cost for us. Because, we have emotions. We're not robots. We do these videos, and the point of the videos through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai Shai is to edify the elect. But we do have our own personal lives, and there's sacrifices that you can see and that you can't see that we make on a daily. All right. And that's for our faith. That's because we convicted. We've counted the cost, and we understand what we are part of. And guess what? We're not even at the final test yet. All right. This is all have been like a practice run for the final test. But through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai, all the trials and tribulations that we overcome, all right, is equipping us with the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that we need to get through the times that we're heading into, that we're directly head first going into, which is the time of Jacob's trouble. Complete economic collapse, along with, cyber attacks, possible EMPs, and just all hell breaking loose. Just nothing but lamentation, mourning, and woe is coming. And the Lord is going to deliver his elect by way of spiritual power, by way of miracles, and, the angels and things like that. Ultimately, Yahweh Shai, all right, our Lord and Savior, the heavenly Son of Yahweh, he's going to come and save the elect. But a lot of things is going to happen even up until that point. And certain men is going to get their head chopped off. And guess what? That's a sacrifice for your crown, because it says fight for the truth, or strive for the truth. Same word, fight, strive, unto death. And the Lord shall give thee a crown of life, or the Lord shall fight for thee. Be thou faithful unto death. I'm combining two scriptures, Revelation 2:10, and I believe it's Sirach 4:17. Where it tells you that you got to fight for this truth, even if your life, even if you got to put your life on the line, which once again we do. Romans the 12th chapter, us going out in the highways and byways and making time to do these video lessons, these epistles for the churches through the spirit, that's sacrifice right there. But even in our personal life, all right, there's going to come times where we're going to have to let certain things go, whether that be women, whether that may even be children, man, your family, or whatever the case may be, your car, your apartment. Eventually, we're going to lose all these things because it's all going to get burnt up. And I'm talking about on a physical, physical level, the things that we could see, the elements around us here in America. But overall, the hope is that, our families will make it, our wives, our children, that they'll make it with us. But guess what? That's not promised. That's not guaranteed. All right. What's guaranteed is that if you make it as a man, as a hopeful elect man of the Lord, you could get your family right back. In this Matthew the 19th chapter, verses 27, and I'm going to read down to 20. I'll just finish the chapter at verse 30. Then answered Peter and said unto him, Behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have therefore? So that's a good question. It's bold, but it's a good question because, like he said, we have forsaken all. We left our families behind. We left everything behind to put this gospel first with you, talking to Yahushua, the Lord, or Messiah of the nation of Israel. All right, it's a good question because that's a sacrifice that was made on all the 12 apostles or 12 disciples at the time, on all of their, on every level. You know, they were following Yahushua even unto death, you know, as far as after the Lord rose and, you know, departed and went back to the Father after his resurrection. The disciples became apostles, which means sent away, and they pretty much gave the rest of their life until they died teaching his truth, man. So we got to remember these things. We got to always be meditating on these things because we're in the same lots. All right, Lord willing, we be those men, the prophets, the men of the Lord. All right, we in the same lot, which is what? We really don't got time or how could I say it? Because we do got little personal hobbies and stuff, but we don't really have the capacity right now to really be tolerating too much, you know, because we have a lot to lose, so to speak, which really, according to the flesh, we don't really have much to lose because we don't really have much to begin with in this world. You know, we came into this world cursed and we leave cursed, according to Deuteronomy 28. So right now, that's, you know, the point that we at now. But overall, just in general, even the little bit that we do have, we got to be ready to let it go and lose it. All right, at a moment's at a moment. All right, and that's according to prophecy. I'm gonna read it. You know, not only the sacrifices that we willingly make to bring forth this truth, you know, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shah, but things in our personal everyday life that could be hindering us or, you know, getting in between our walk or getting, you know, making it troublesome for us who, you know, walk this walk that we're walking, which is not on our own strength, is on the strength of Yahweh by Yahushua, according to Ephesians 6th chapter. So Yahushua answered, said unto them, Verily I say unto you that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory. So that's talking about the last days because Yahushua is not back yet. All right, he's going to actually come back in the time that is speaking of the regeneration, which I follow me in the regeneration, is talking about really right now. All right, because even though we don't see the Lord physically, the presence of Yahushua by way of the Holy Spirit is here on the earth. How do we know that? Because the truth of the Bible has been unsealed. All right, we got the 100% truth through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel through their men, the apostles, a great millstone, and the men that came before them. You know, men such as King Masha, High Priest Ariah, etc. All right, starting with Abba Bivens, Elijah the prophet. That's the ones who are following Yahushua, talking about in spirit and in truth. John the 4th chapter. All right, because we don't see Yahushua physically, but we see his men. All right, we see the men who he set up through the spirit to lead us. And we're following the Apostle Paul in the regeneration, if you could receive it. I'm not going to go too deep with you, you know, on this lesson, but we following the men of the Lord through the spirit of faith. We believe these are the men, and we're following it just as Yahushua just said here, just as Apostle Paul said, be ye followers of me as I am also of Yahushua. So when you follow the men of the Lord, and basically indirectly you're following Yahushua as well. All right, ye shall also sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. So that's particular for the 12 themselves. All right, but it says, and everyone that hath forsaken houses or brethren or sisters or father or mother or wife or children or lands for my name's sake, which is not only just the name, it's what comes with the name. What comes with the name of Yahushua and you saying you believe on that name? You got to depart from iniquity and you got to do this work. If you're a man, if you're a woman, you got to submit yourself to your husband as if he is Yahushua. It tells you that in Ephesians, the 5th chapter. All right, there's a certain doctrine and teaching and conduct that comes with the name's sake. It's not just saying the name Yahushua, because as we can see within Israel, you got niggas that are able to utter that name when they just niggas. All right, they're just not men of the Lord. They're deceivers. They're either agents sent spies or whatever the case may be, or they just stupid. They just not of the elect. And the Lord didn't give them the Holy Spirit, but for whatever reason, the Lord gave them the names to basically condemn themselves. That's the reason. All right. But us, we want to make it to the end. Second Ezra, the 7th chapter, it explains how we're going to enter the kingdom. We got to go through that straight gate. All right. And that straight gate comes with a lot of sacrificing and a lot of downsizing. There's a reason why I like to emphasize that word through the Spirit, is because when you downsize and you basically getting rid of shit you don't need. All right. And that's a spirit that we ought to be in, because we have a lot of stuff around us being so-called, American citizens of the country of America are just spoiled, man. This is the careless city. This is the place that has abundance. You got food getting thrown out in the trash and fat people, obese, walking around everywhere. But yet people are not ready to lose even the extras that they don't even really need. Even when they lose that, they start bugging out. So how much more us that have been already sacrificing? It's just a reminder through the Spirit to just never get comfortable, man. All right. The things that are seen are temporal. All of this is going to get burnt up. That's number one. That's what you should always consider. Look at everything around you, and all of this is going to get burnt up. So you can't ever really get attached too much to something that you already have to understand is going to be destroyed. That's number one. All right. We give our life as a living sacrifice. Like I said earlier, Romans, the 12th chapter, by doing this work, sacrificing our freedoms and our safety and our protection. I mean, not protection. We got protection through the Spirit from the angels. Psalm 34:7 through Yahweh Shemel Shai. But what I mean is, they can bring up charges against us for teaching this word, such as treason or sedition, etc. And we acknowledge that, and we still don't give a fuck. All right, because through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai, we fear the Most High rather than men. All right, to Esau, this is treason. To Yahweh Shemel Shai, this is good work that we're doing. So the Lord is not unrighteous to forget our works and labor of love. There's a reward for this, but you may have to sacrifice even more. All right, you may have to, like Yahweh Shai gave the parable, you may have to enter the kingdom without an arm. And that's just a figure of speech, metaphorically. Meaning you may have to lose things that's personal to your own eye. It said if your own eye offends you, pluck it out. All right, that's actually a good parable, for the lesson. I didn't think of that when I was meditating on this and getting this lesson prepared through the Spirit. But hey, there you go. Be ready to enter the kingdom with a missing leg, basically, with something that could be near and dear unto you, but at least you made it. And now that you made it, what is going to happen? It says, for my name's sake shall receive 100-fold and shall inherit everlasting life. So you're going to get 100-fold of everything you sacrifice and lost and detached and downsized of. You're going to get all that back in everlasting life. So you're going to be able to enjoy it forever. It's not going to be temporal anymore. It's going to be everlasting, immortal. All right, eternal, infinity. Your wives are going to be your wives forever. No more sharing, no more 8 bodies, no more none of that. All right, that's what we fighting for in this truth, man. Not for just women in the kingdom, but everything that it comes with. But all the things that we pretty much miss out on this side, so to speak. All the things that we sacrifice and we just, I don't really care about that. I'm going to go sell it if I need some money or whatever, give it away to somebody. And that's just a spur I've been in. I've been doing, it's about to be winter. I'm over here doing a spring cleaning in my apartment. I'm going through the closets. I'm going through all the places that, Jake never really want to clean. Behind the stove, behind the washing machine and the dryer. You know what I'm saying? That one closet that you just throw everything when you're just trying to clean up real quick and, it's not organized. I've been going through all of these things, cleaning it up, getting the spider webs off of it. And I'm realizing a lot of this shit I don't need. And I've been more in the mentality is through the Spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shai, putting the Spirit on me. But I've been just looking at everything like, well, I don't need that. If I got to get up and go, just as the Lord told his disciples, when you go, leave, don't go back into the house for nothing. Just leave. Right? And he was talking about 70 AD, prophesied about that, but we could apply that now because let's go to 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter. All right. It basically goes down to one word, being a pilgrim. All right. And there's just different levels of being a pilgrim. But at the end of the day, the whole point is that anything that we lose and sacrifice on this side for our walk's sake, because, yeah, we got to put ourselves first. How can you take care of your family if you can't even take care of yourself? You got to put yourself first. So sometimes sacrifices must be made, man. And it might hurt. And even to the world, it may seem like you're cold and, you don't care and whatever. But you're on a different walk than these people of the world. They're never going to understand. 2 Ezra 16:40. O my people, hear my word. Make you ready to thy battle. Who's the Lord's people? First of all, the Israelites, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans who are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. But the majority of you here in America, you have to be ready for these days, man. America is going to go under full siege, and this place is going to look, and with the experience that people are going to have here is going to be real crazy, man. That's just for lack of a better word. It's going to be real psycho out here. It's going to be things that people never expected to ever see that's going to be happening, including cannibalism, all type of disease, warfare, Esau releasing these biological viruses and germs and bacterias that, may make people bleed out their eyes and shit. You see people walking down the street looking like zombies, man. You got to be ready for this mentally. You got to be ready to look at everything around you and say, I just need water and food. You see what I mean? As a man, really. And really, remember what the scriptures say. This truth is the living waters that you shall never thirst. John, the 4th chapter, and Matthew, the 4th chapter, the Lord said what? Men shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. So you could really leave with nothing. You may not have nothing. Just you and your faith. That's all you do need. All right, that's all we need. Ultimately, that's the ultimate downsize, is just you. And in that day, who you going to be praying to? You're going to be praying to Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. It's just you and your faith now. If the Lord have you come across the brotherhood or brothers or a brother, that's an extreme blessing, man. If you got some family, guess what? You're going to have to protect your family. So that means the Lord's going to have to give you certain abilities and certain things to, to basically, you got people's lives in your hand. That's a heavy responsibility, man. That's another reason of doing this work. If you got family, at least be motivated by that. You got your woman and your children, A lot of us, like I said, we don't really got nothing to lose. Some brothers don't got nothing. And they just ready to get up and go. But some brothers, they got things of the world, so to speak. They may have families, they may have apartments, houses, cars, etc. Well, guess what? To hell with all of that stuff, man. Because at the end of the day, if you don't take that micro C-hip, that MOTB, the mark of the beast, which you know what that is, the RFID chip implant, you can't pay for none of your bills. So they're going to come take everything anyways. So are we ready for that? Like, brothers got to really be thinking about these things, man. It's not going to be this way forever. And in the coming future, they talking about 2024 is going to be the year of like CBDC, basically. North Korea. I'm going to do a separate lesson on that. I got some articles that I want to bring out through the spirit. But yeah, man, it's going to get bad. This is 2 Ezra 16. I'm jumping down to verse 68. It says, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols. So that's some concentration camps, the FEMA camps that they're going to be stuffing people in. Like they just signed that law in here in New York. All right, that if you don't even have any symptoms, because supposedly the new variant thing or whatever the thing is that they're saying is out there, the pneumonia that all these kids are getting, is not really showing symptoms. You're not coughing. It's not showing symptoms as the C19. They also said it could be asymptomatic, but you had a lot of people who did show symptoms. But they say you don't even need to necessarily show symptoms and you could still have it. So what does that mean? That means that the time is coming where there's going to be another lockdown, and we're already going through it right now, man. We're already in another lockdown. All right. It's a subtle lockdown. It's basically a foreclosure. All these big businesses here in America, they're closing shop, even including commercial banks, man. So what does that mean? What is happening? What are we heading into, man? What did they say in the World Economic Forum? You shall own nothing and be happy. That's what we're heading into. Downsize. Get ready to downsize. You got all this clothes. You might have whatever you got. Your gaming console, your TV, your couch. I'm just looking around me. I'm just speaking, personally now. All of this, I'm ready to just leave all this behind. I don't need any of this stuff. I really don't. With one outfit, two outfits, I can make it work. I believe that through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemashah. I've done it before. So basically what? As Apostle Paul said, he knows how to abound and he knows how to abase. All right. So you got to always be in this mentality, man. Be as a pilgrim upon the earth. And they that consent, because as long as we're not in our land, we are pilgrims. As long as we're not home, and we're not home yet, we don't have no continuing city. We don't have no rest in this place, right? So we're looking for rest. We're looking for that home. And we know exactly where it is and what's happening. Right now, heathens are occupying it. And that part of the prophecy, Ezekiel 38, etc., that got to be fulfilled, man. All right, that has to be fulfilled. It hasn't been fulfilled yet. So once that's fulfilled, then we can move forward, to the next thing, which ultimately is Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, bringing the children of Israel, the Hebrew Israelites, back to their land and establishing them in their land under King David. This is what we're waiting for. So all this clothes, you're not going to be wearing this type of clothes in the kingdom. We're not going to be living this type of lifestyle at all in the kingdom of heaven. All right. So like I said, just really a reminder. I know brothers are always like that, man. We just can't wait to get out this place. But, in the very near future, like as they bring in the CBDC digital economy and they do their false flags and all, the tinfoil hat, the conspiracy theory stuff, sure, whatever they want to call it. Once that stuff really starts to ramp up, you're going to definitely be losing a lot of things of this world, man. A lot of tangible possessions. You know what I'm saying? So it says, and they that consent onto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot. So the people that just go along with it because they scared and they just, okay, what do you want me to do? They're going to be all confused and not knowing what the hell is going on. When these troops are rounding these people up, when these biological diseases start breaking forth and, people die by the thousands and the 10,000s and they start dropping dead like flies, that's when people are going to be all messed up in the head, man. But we're going to know very well what the hell's going on, man. The Most High is beginning to visit the world which he made. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. So we know right off of that, it's telling us that we're basically going to be targeted. And why is that? Because this is an evil ass world. All right. And when the shit hits the fan and everything goes out of control, all right, we're going to be the first ones that a lot of people think about when they're experiencing that hell that we've been prophesying about for all these years. All right, they're going to think of us. Then shall they know a prophet have been among them. But guess what? They're going to be looking for us. And guess what? Esau is going to be looking for us. A lot of people is going to be looking for us, man. And the Lord is going to have us hidden away. He's going to have us under his shadow of Psalms 91, which is basically his protection. That's where we're going to seek refuge in those times to come. And we're not going to have a wardrobe full of outfits. We're not going to have a lot of things. We're going to have the bare minimum. We're going to have the bare minimum necessities that we need to survive. It speaks about that in the book of Sirach, I think the 39th chapter. It gives you a list of the bare essentials of life that men need to live on this planet Earth. That's what the Lord is going to give us with. All right, that's what the Lord is going to give us. And we don't need anything more. We just need daily bread. In the kingdom, that'll be a time of abundance, of riches and glory, everlasting, not temporal, not corruptible. Your stuff is not going to deteriorate. Your electronics, so to speak, quote unquote, is not going to be breaking down. You're not going to be stressed out all the damn time in the kingdom like in this world. Shalakia. It says, they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. So some of us is going to die, all right? And that's because of Yahweh Shai's name's sake and what that came with, which is preaching this gospel, which makes you an enemy to this world. It says, for they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. So that's going into them executive orders, and that's going into downsizing. You got to be ready to just basically give it all up, man, and leave with the clothes on your back and with the faith in your spirit, in your mind, in your heart, your lab, which is mind in the Hebrew. That's all we need, man. That's all we need. That's what's comforting us right now. All this shit around us is doing nothing but stressing us out, man. You got a car, it's convenient, and it's a blessing. You know, you pray when you're driving, you pray that the Lord sustain your vehicle, but it's always going to give you problems, though, because it's corruptible. It just has to be burnt up, man. We're not going to have these bum-ass cars in the kingdom. We're going to have chariots, so-called UFOs. That's going to be our vehicles, because we'll be extraterrestrial beings. We're not going to be just terrestrial, bound to the earth, bound to the terrain, the planet, Ba'arataza, in the earth. Now we're going to be able to go to the heavens too, because we'll be extraterrestrial. All right, so an extraterrestrial being, none of this stuff here in this society is going to do anything for you when you're in that estate. All right, we're not even going to be wearing the same clothes, pants, T-shirts, like all that's going to be done away with, man. We're going to have different style. You know, so, hey, man, good riddance to this stuff. You know, the sooner the better. We just waiting patiently for Yahweh Shem Yahushua to basically move things forward, which things are always moving forward, but you know what we talking about, you know, as far as what, the economic collapse. Or they talking about this great recession, the great reset, the great recession. You know, that's going to make everyone on the same even playing field. And everybody in America is going to have to downsize, all right? 15-minute cities, etc. So there's not going to be no more fun in this place, man. The mirth of the land is gone. And it's a time that we heading into a draconian society. Or how they would say, the Orwellian nightmare, you know, a dystopian future. They got all these terms for it, but at the end of the day, the scriptures call it a time of trouble. All right, time of Jacob's trouble and a time of trouble for the world, the time of judgment. All right, so yeah, you know, just that's mainly the point. Just always have that mentality. You're not comfortable, and you should be ready to just lose things at the blink of an eye, you know, in a moment's time, so to speak. If you just got to get up and go, or they come and take your shit, I mean, what could you really do? You know, it's in the prophecy. It said they're going to do this. They're going to rip us out of our houses. Some of us shall be cast into prison. Hey, man, you know, it is what it is. This is what we signed up for. This is what the Lord wants. And if that's our way of glorifying Yahweh Shem Yahushai, then so be it. May the Lord give us the strength and the spirit to endure that. You know, but always be ready mentally for that. You know, be in a mindset where you're ready, where you're looking at everything and you're like, all right, I don't need it. You know, take fast from certain things. If you like to play video games, take a week break, man. Just do things differently that changes your routine so that you can get ready for when you don't have these things no more. So you won't be caught off guard like, oh, what do I do now? I don't know what to do. My daily schedule is messed up because I don't have this today, or, you know, nah. Be ready to basically survive off of the bare minimum, man. Food and water. And even if you don't got that, you got the faith. You got the word. You got the name Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right. And that should sustain us more than enough through the times that's to come. As it says in Isaiah 33:6, you know, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time. So I'm going to end it off there. I'm going to say, call hello Yahweh Shem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakak Wadash. Hope and pray this lesson was edifying. Salakia. And I'll see you in the next one. Lord willing, shalom.